Let's discuss. It's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out two new songs from TEN56, Traumadoll and RLS. I have covered a decent amount of this band on the channel, especially for being newer. They are heavy, they are good. That is what I'm looking for in these tracks. They are very relentlessly heavy, and that's really like key to their sound, I feel. So going into this, that's what I expect, but as I said, they are a newer band, so you never know. But I am quite sure we'll be getting smacked around a little bit. So Traumadoll and RLS, I will link the music video that I'll be using in this reaction in the description. Thank you to Nicholas over at Out of Line Music for getting this over to me in time to make a video. Even though I am late getting to it, I still appreciate it. Always looking forward to seeing new TEN56 in the inbox. So all of their social media, the video I'll be using, all that good stuff in the description. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it.
With the yellow workings of my mind, feeling it over the soul, I won't know why. As I die over and over again every fucking night. Stuck way deep in this coffin, I keep thinking things that I shouldn't be thinking. Like I want my mama at the face of black with years of struggle. High in the building, so she can't find me. I'll be looking like a Belfast statue. Blue so swinging from a circus.
Oh yeah.
Of this, I wish that I could make you feel the way that I feel. I'm not so surreal. Look at me now, bitch. Tossing and turning, waiting for the day, but you never seem to learn that. I'm only waiting for the day that I'll disappear. Please just take me away, take me away. From me, won't even know, won't even care. Won't get so far. So fuck. Now what? Gonna catch the sleeping cause they're always gonna fucking come for me. Label shadows in the corner always looking at me. Never when it makes a mess I wanna be looking at blood. In my sleep, dead in my sleep.
That's cool. Okay. Obviously it's switched now to RLS.
Found myself just one more time. So I crush in the pill and sail to heaven. I don't feel like I wanna feel alive again.
The melody almost reminds me of Lil Peep. Before this.
Sometimes I don't feel safe, so choose to end another night on my own. Didn't think that you'll never get it, never felt okay, so I said, man, fuck it. Put my neck on the lock and my head in the clouds, and it's all that the weather is still shit. I know I'm up and fucked till alone, so I wanted to be, I'm alone. So I crawled to the bathroom, there's me in the mirror, I asked myself, who the fuck is this? Fuck! You felt Doubt yourself just one more time. Jumping in the pit and sail to heaven. I don't feel like I'll ever be alive again. Just numb the pain and forget I'm not dead.
TEN56, Traumadoll and RLS. Let's discuss. This is different, wild. I like the release as Traumadoll, but having Traumadoll and RLS together adds something really different, I think. And I prefer RLS, I believe, over the two tracks. Though I enjoy Traumadoll a lot, I feel like it's got that signature TEN56 heaviness that I was talking about. But at the same time, they gave Aaron sort of a segue into RLS by, it being that heavy, it having those very intense TEN56 moments in the track, the qualities that you see on Downer Part 1 and everything, but at the same time, some of the vocal delivery, the patterns, the tone, all of that is much different, and I think is really in touch with what's presented in RLS. And RLS, like I was saying before, it really drops and before the vocals change, those first vocals that you get, the melody, the delivery, all of that really reminds me of Lil Peep. And I know a lot of people do not like that music that much, but I personally really like Lil Peep. There are a few artists that people are always surprised by me enjoying, and that is one of them. So that was something I sort of heard the parallel with right away, and then it goes into something that's more into that sound, that signature TEN56 sound that I'm talking about, being able to have that heaviness in there, but at the same time it never really fully commits to that, which I enjoy. I like that song having its own sort of sound, especially with what TEN56 has teased in their decently small discography. This is a newer band that just formed when Aaron left, Betraying the Martyrs, and when they came out, they've always incorporated stuff that sounds different than what they're doing, and that's been a nice blend for them. But the idea of them really tapping into those sounds, expanding on them, sort of drilling down into them as it feels they did with RLS, I really enjoy, especially if their releases will sort of tease that, and then they can do something like this where they have a track that really expands on it, or even parts of a track, however they do it, because at the same time as I enjoy their experimental stuff, I enjoy the electronic or the atmospheric stuff as well. When you hear the breakdown in Traumadoll, I was almost expecting something that was more relentless and heavy and consistent, and maybe a bit less space and a bit less of an atmospheric drop, and I'm here for it. I've talked so much on the channel about the space and atmospheric music or ambient stuff, that being something like one of my biggest draws to my favorite type of music, being ambient metalcore, and this is obviously not that. TEN56 does something a little bit different, but being able to hear something that's so directly related, or a quality that you hear in one genre very clearly in another subgenre, that sort of thing is what I'm talking about. So this is exciting, especially that they have just put out Downer Part 1 last year, and hopefully this means that their direction, whether it be Downer Part 2 or whatever they are working on next, they'll continue sort of doing what they feel like they want to make and tapping into those more experimental sounds, especially with RLS having those parts where there's singing that sounds, I don't want to say they sound like harmonies, because it didn't really sound to be harmonizing anything, but the singing in that track, some of the backing vocals and such, I think that adds a new angle that we could see from TEN56, and that I'd personally really like to see, especially mixed in there with that heaviness and the chaotic sound that they have historically in their little discography. Anyway, that is enough blabbing about the tracks. after one listen, those are my thoughts on these songs. I will be doing more revisiting to RLS than Traumadoll probably, but these are two that I would like to listen to together enough, so it definitely works for me. Traumadoll's a song I will be getting into as well. So new deathcore is what they're doing here, and probably the only band that I've heard of that style, but they're certainly seeming to claim it. I know there are some others that can be considered that and all, but this has been the one that has spoke to me the most in terms of those projects. So all of their social media, as well as the video I used in this reaction, which by the way, the pill flip was incredibly cool, very cool visuals overall, but that pill was extremely creative and I loved that part. So all of the social media for TEN56 as well as this music video that I used in my reaction will be in the description of this video. Other than that, you can also find my link tree where I will have the invite for the Discord server that I talk about in every single video. We have a community there where we talk about a lot of music related stuff. We have channels for Last FM stats, music spoilers for new music, you know, member created music, merch, all sorts of stuff, as well as channels for conversation unrelated to music, like general, where we talk about whatever, or gaming, PCs, all sorts of different stuff, entertainment. So if you're interested in coming to join, check out the community. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link where I do post all music related content. I post my merch collection, which I am constantly adding to. It is ever growing, and I usually post once or twice a week about merch. I post about shows if I've been to a show recently and have pictures or videos to share about that. And I post a chart every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of that week and how much I've listened to each thing on the chart, that type of stuff. So if that interests you at all, my handle on there is Rachel Reacts, just like my YouTube channel. But again, it will be in that link tree in the description if you have any interest in following me. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.